Hey everyone. Now I've got a couple of new microphones. As you can see here, this thing is the microphone and transmitting to the thing on the camera. But I'm going to show you what I have been using and do a little bit of a look at the RF on these things, because I've had a bit of issues with microphones over the years, so hopefully these will work now. So I'll go through what I've been using and then a bit more into this. All right, now here's what I generally use to film these things. Just an old 4K Sony camcorder. And for the sound, it's got a microphone input. So I originally bought this thing here, a 2.4 gig transmitter receiver. So got a little microphone there, clip on, and plug that in here. Now, given the size of it, that doesn't physically fit there without fouling up against the edge. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't fit in properly, so I had a little cable to hang that off. But what I found is this never worked. I mean, I got it from somewhere cheap, and it syncs up to itself. Like if you turn them both on, they flash away until they find each other. They found each other, and they're fine. So you turn one off and that'll end up flashing because it can't see the other side. But no actual sound comes out of this thing, no matter what I do. So I've never had that working. Then, the one that you've probably seen the most is this thing I have around my head. Now this came as, I can't even remember, I think it was just this headset part here, held together by tape now, and a plug on it. And what I did was, I had this transmitter, another thing I got online from somewhere, and I just, as you can see, extended the cable here in the middle and just joined them up. So that's there, goes into this transmitter, as you can see, probably, 612 meg, that's just analog FM. And then I've got this receiver here that plugs into the camera. The thing about this is it comes as a big connector here, right? And also designed to be mono. So when you plug that into a stereo socket, it only comes out the left speaker. So anyway, I've got this adapter to make it small. And then that, you don't see this, but every video with this camera has that hanging out the side. And it's just a bit flimsy. And if I move the camera, this sort of crackles and because it, you know, breaks connection, it's not the best connection there. So I have to keep the camera steady on the tripod. So that's what I've been using, and it's a bit of a pain. So that's what I'm getting rid of. Now that first part of this video was recorded using this new Rode thing here. But for now, to show that, I've got to use this thing like I've always done. So you'll probably hear the difference in those two. So what I've got here is this Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone. So it's got this receiver here. I don't know if you can see that, if this is in focus, because I'm using the DSLR, obviously, and I have to make sure it's focused. So the receiver here, and it's got two transmitters. So I'm just using one. It's got a little microphone built in there, and it also has a socket for another microphone. So I could plug a little microphone in there as well. Anyway, switch that off. This is a 2.4 gig, and I think it's Bluetooth, because I'll show you why soon. But what I can do is I can have that as mono coming through both channels, or I could just have that one left, one right. See, that was another problem with the one I'm wearing, is whenever I recorded it, it only recorded on the left channel, and I always had to do a channel mixer in the software to fix that. But anyway, this is what I'll be using from now on. And it just sort of clips on the DSLR where the flash kind of thing goes. Doesn't quite fit on here because of the way that's shaped, so it won't quite get in there. It will, but a bit rough. I can just clip it on there or something. But anyway, that just feeds the audio out, and that's pretty much it. So that's what I'm going to be using. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is a quick test. So that's the built-in microphone of this thing, but now I'm going to plug this little microphone in, and now it's using this little clip-on microphone. So I want to hear the difference, so I'm just testing that now, and you'll hear it as well. So it's that one, and that's the built-in one. It also did come with these little fuzzy things too for if you're out in the wind, but they won't apply in here. So that's that. And one other microphone I use is the big Rode one here connected to the computer, and I use that for when I'm doing screen captures. You might have noticed the sound sounds a lot better through that than the other microphone when I'm talking to the camera. And I mean, look at the size of it, it's a much better microphone. So anyway, I'm going to use that in a second when I go through some of the RF on these microphones on the RF spectrum there. Have a look. Now before I get too far into it, I'm just going to show you this slow scan that I've had running for a while here. As you can see, it's in 2.4 gigahertz. This here is when I had the microphone on, that Rode one, and I turned it off briefly and turned it back on again, and it came up there. Now I've turned it off and it's elsewhere, obviously. But that's I just wanted to show you that one that had built up over time. So it'll be somewhere else here. and that'll be it there. So that's the microphone, but I'm going to go through that in a bit more detail. I just wanted to show you that display that I had running for a while first. Okay, I'll show you the setup. I'm using the Hack RF here, and I'm looking at 20 meg of RF bandwidth. And first thing you notice is this big spike over here. Now I'm using this thing here, which is 612 meg. And if I go down to, let's show you 612, there it is there. Okay, and I can just demodulate that as FM. Where are we? Now, oh shit, there it is there. A lot of echo and stuff. Okay, that's that. So I'll just turn that demod off. That's where it normally lives. But you can see 2.4, where was it? Just up here a bit. You see it there? That's actually this. So if I turn this off, that'll stop. And if it comes back. So that's that. But that's not supposed to be 2.4 gig. It's just right here and it's blacking everything out. But I have to use that now because I want to avoid the main 2.4 gig. So if I start at 2.4, I'll just show you what's going on. If I go to here, which is centered on Wi-Fi channel 1, what you can see is Wi-Fi frames every now and again, which are the really wide ones that go all along here. And these little spikes you see are Bluetooth. So what I'll do is I'll just put a max hold on here and try and pause the thing. These spikes here are Bluetooth. And that's coming from this monitor. It's got Bluetooth in it, which is annoying. I'm going to have to rip that out one day. But it's got that. And the wider ones, I don't know if you, I probably won't catch one here. Actually, I'll just unhold it. Look, you can't really see. The wider ones that go across 20 meg of bandwidth, that's something on the Wi-Fi. So that's what that is. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to catch one of these. But I'll try. There's sort of one. So that's a wideband Wi-Fi frame. So if I take this away from the monitor, you can sort of see the Bluetooth drops off a bit. Not really. If I stick it right next to the monitor, you see it goes nuts. So see, it was more intense here for that period of time when I had it right up to the screen. Okay. So anyway, we'll have to deal with that. So what I'll do now though is I'll turn this thing on here. So turn on the receiver, and it won't appear to do much. I'll turn the receiver on there. Here we go. It's not really, I mean, you can see it. What I mean by not doing much is it's just kind of there, and obviously there's no signal coming in because this is coming from this end. When I turn this one on as well, the actual microphone transmitter, right, it locks up, and then we're off. So more shit came up. You can see that went a lot more intense. So that's where that is. And what I noticed is it's in the one spot. Now when I say the one spot, I mean it's not bouncing around like Bluetooth. But if I turn it off and then on again, right? Turn that shit back on. You'll see now it's over there. It was over there before. So it does change, but once it's going, it seems to be in the one spot. Now, as usual with most transmitters, you can find information about them online. So you can see here we've got the Rode Microphone Go 2, which is what it is. And if we go down here, you can see we've got the pull apart here, showing what's inside it. Battery there, that'll be the screen and the chips. And if you go a little bit closer, they go to the chip and you can actually see what it is. So they've got one there and they've got one there. Now I looked them up, and what does it say? This is a Bluetooth audio chip, which I guess kind of makes sense. So it's saying Bluetooth, but it's not bouncing around like the Bluetooth I'm used to. So I don't know if that's just some feature of the chip and they're using it differently or what, but you can see that it's got it there. And it also says it can use, where is it? A cryptographic link, and that's what they advertise this thing as being encrypted. So that's that. But then there's this other chip, and that also talks of Bluetooth. You can see it talks about all the stuff it can do in 2.4 gig. So I don't know if it's specifically Bluetooth or that's just some feature that it can do, and it comes up as you saw with just a single area. So anyway, they're the chips inside it, which I thought was quite handy to have a reference to. So again, that's just the background Bluetooth shit coming out of this monitor. If I scroll up a bit, it seems to drop off by the time we get to the higher channels here. So there's channel 11. You can still see a bit of it over there. And yeah, that's that. All right, so here's how it looks when it's plugged in. I'm just using the camcorder built-in mic at the moment, which is probably the worst one yet. So that just plugs into the sound there and sits up the top there. If I walk around the house, it has the same kind of range as a Bluetooth device does. So if I have the receiver in the room out there, I can walk pretty much out the back. If I start going around the corner outside, it drops off there. But again, it's the same as a good set of Bluetooth headphones. Okay, so that's my new microphone. That's what I'm going to be using from now on. The reason I did like this headset one is because, as you probably noticed, I'm very animated, so I move around a lot and that always follows me. So it was good for that, but it was just cumbersome with all the cables and all that. So this is what I'll use, and I may look at getting another camera too, because these are a bit clunky as well. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you, so that'll do for now. So take it easy until next time.